Perfect. All right.
Oh shit. How do you make the squirty emoji?
Alright guys, what's going on? So, I'm heading over to a different gym today. We're going to do a bit of back, I believe. This gym is owned by a classic physique pro named Ben. He's a great guy. It's an awesome gym. Nice and air-conned as well, so we're going to be out of the heat for today. And pretty sure there's a decent crew going to be there. So, we'll see who's there when we're there. But it's going to be a good time. Let's fucking head there now. So we're here at BPC, which is a different gym over here in Bangkok, and we have a fucking awesome training crew here today. So we have John, Jared Feather, Aaron, and Chris will be here as well. So I'll try and get some filming done with everyone in, and doing back day today. So let's fucking hit it.
Squeeze all the way. On this next one, keep that chest poked out. Chest poked out. Good. Yeah, right there. That was gorgeous. Again. All the way. One more. Squeeze that shit. All beautiful. Boom.
Oh, that feels good, man.
I love it, bro.
That feels good.
Let's go, Jay. Nice. Gorgeous. Good, Jay. Good. Nice. Nice. Good squeeze. Good squeeze. Good. Another one. High. Keep that sternum high. Yes. I'm gonna help you with that. So you just keep that sternum high. You go one more. So watch that sternum. Don't lose that in the stretch. Let's go. Drive. Let's go, Jay. That's it. That's it. Yes. That's that. That's what I'm doing. That's really nice. Yeah. A lot of guys, especially like when they're broad like you, like they'll keep their sternum like great in the stretch when they come down here.
And then they roll it.
They think about keeping chest up, and everyone relates chest to like collarbone.
Yeah.
They'll roll this down like that, so my collarbone's still up, but then I roll it out and I lose my lat.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
terrace, which is fine, but then your terrace is huge already.
We want that.
Yeah, you want more lat.
Yeah. Good, bro.
Come on.
Nice, man. Come on. Yes. Yes. Let's go. Yep.
Let's go,
Go.
man.
Keep it squeezing. Keep it squeezing.
Squeeze.
Yeah, there you are. All right, we got every cunt in here filming. So Aaron's camera in the background there. We have a videographer. John there's filming. So all of us are fucking those guys in the gym right now.
Yeah. Know that? Yeah. I don't know who else is gonna come, right? Foreigner guys. I'm gonna do 4. Strong. Yeah. If you're going for it, really go for it. Think about it. Sorry. Before we know we're gonna be in prep. Yeah. Like it is. We definitely. Yeah. We have a good. I don't know. 10 coffees before it's time. Yeah. I got it. Just touch it. If you feel light, just you can go. Yeah, don't feel bad. If it doesn't feel too heavy, just touch it and we'll swap it. Yeah. Bro, it's so you see it on the something in the last script as well. Yeah, switch it. Strong, ready? Yeah. 3.5 maybe.
I think 4 still.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 4.
George, pick up George. It's okay. Oh, come cover the top, man.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, plastic anymore, man? What the fuck? I've been at 260 before. What's your plastic bikes? It's 218 now. And what's we were on it for the guys who my last one was 260 in here with this. My last one. Yeah, I'm not. Back there. There you go. Good. You stand yourself on the top, maybe? Yeah. Then you come here, get the hips back. RDO, 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 RDO. That's it, here. Here we go. There. Yeah. Shrug roll, push your body towards your body on the way down. Shrug here, push your body towards your body. Good. That's the one, that's the one. Way more. Here we go. That's it. Easy money, baby. Let's go. That's it. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as long as you practice the skill of like sitting back, because this Smith machine you can.
Yeah.
Then it's much easier to stay in the line.
Yeah.
New line for you, so not as strong. Once you get there, once you get the groove, you'll be okay.
That was brutal.
Yeah, cool,
That
man.
felt good.
Very nice. So stay, okay? Don't move, go. Don't move, don't move, don't move. There, feel that? Yeah. That's it. Everything else is going to be a rotational of your torso. That's that. Yeah, so you got it. Right here, you see that? That's it, right there. So set up, get nice and stable to here. Feel where these joints are. Now they're fixed. These are fixed points, yeah? Let's go. That's the one. That's it. Don't let it stretch. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's a lat stretch. You don't need to go to the range of the machine, the range of your lat. Good. Lats. Wide. Let's go. Don't shoot as well. Don't shoot. Just drag it. Yeah. Nice. Come on, Jay. I'm gonna be a little bit deeper on these last couple. I'm gonna give you 2 more. So you just stay the line. So you just stay the line with me. I'm gonna help you now. Go. Work with me. Work with me. That's the one. Don't come back into my hand. Just stay here. Work with me. Let's go. Work with me. All the way. All the way. That's the one. Nice. Woo! Good. know, like some guys would ask me like, oh, why'd you always say go slow when you're
Through the concentric.
well, only because when you go fast, what's going to happen is you're going to use what you normally use.
Yes.
And if you're trying to change your physique, so actual bodybuilding, not just growing, right?
Yeah.
Then you can't just use what you always use because then your same big parts just get bigger.
Yes,
and
yeah,
smaller
yeah,
stay
yeah.
smaller.
Yep.
It's only when we're relearning a pattern of movement,
Yep.
then it makes sense to go slow. I
Yeah.
understand and I agree. If you go faster, like the recruitment of your motor units and all that, yes, that is faster. Yeah, it's better. But I'm trying to recruit specific motor units. So in this situation,
Yeah, of course.
slow is okay.
And I mean, you can fucking feel it too, right? Like, you go slow, it's gonna fucking hurt a lot more.
Your brain a
And
bit
it's
more
like,
time to record what's going on. As
yeah,
well.
a lot of the time it's like, if shit's hurting,
I don't know, man.
you're doing the one set or two?
That's fine. I don't need to do. Yeah.
Two? Yeah, cool.
Like sometimes it's hit or miss.
Yes, move on. Go. Let's go. Whoa. Nice. One more. Let's go.
I'll give you two more after this, yeah? Let's go. You just keep the angle because I can't change that and help you get short. That's it. That's it. Nice and short. Nice and short. One more. Short, 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 short. Yes. Good. That was great. We did some posing before together. Bring your feet closer.
Closer.
Yeah. Great quad separation, man. Very nice. Better. Good. If you're posing, if you're doing this, then try this. Or
Out that way.
yeah. Here and then here. So elbows you want to be a bottom of your elbow in line of this guy. Yeah. Right there. Can you see that? How much bigger you look?
Difference?
Boom. Yeah. That's nice. Push in and then up. Yeah, you see the difference? Bro, like your fucking chest just filled out, your lats popped out even more. You can actually steal some from your waist. If you can you get this?
Yeah.
So here,
Like that.
steal like an inch through each finger on your waist. You cover your waist. Yeah.
So actually bring them
Yeah,
forward more like that.
You see that? It's a lot smaller now.
Okay.
Yeah. You do that chest spreads that John just said, like fucking bigger up top, smaller at the bottom. Yeah. You got great. Bro, like one nice. Yeah, boy. Boom, up there. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Good. Also, always practice from the start. Never let go. It's a habit. It's a habit.
What do you mean?
So you go like that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
trust-
you're right.
Trust me, that one. 'Cause that's like the stuff that. Like,
Yeah,
pro
I-
and non-pro, that's the difference.
I start to like nail that towards the end of prep, but you should practice it year
Yeah.
round. Yeah.
Back it in, good. Push the hamstring out. Nice. You get even more hamstring. You close this guy. Yeah. Yeah. See that? And then here, push it in. See the difference? Sorry.
So there.
See how like when you push that in, how this pops out more. Right there. Right there. Yeah. That's good. I like the width here, overall balance.
Yeah.
So, and then it really gives you that, that powerful appearance on stage.
Yeah.
You really nailed it, bro. That was the best. You nailed that shot, actually.
Cool. Yeah. Well, since we last did it, I've been just
Yeah.
thinking about everything you said and trying to.
Making a difference.
Yeah.
Right there. Nice. Good. Yep. A little bit of knee bend, bro. A little bit more knee bend. Yeah. There. Good. Yes. Bro. Fucking nailed it. Right there. Good. Stay here long enough, you just don't catch. Yeah, get into this. We go back to that quarter again. You want to start here? Here. Yes.
You look
Show
way,
the way.
way better like this than just the side on because you narrow from the side.
Yeah. You want to move it, and then we'll reach, and then beautiful, bro. Look at that fucking. Bit more, bit more. Yeah. Yeah. You can go tighter here. That's the one there.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Bro, that waist looked fucking stupid on that side shot. Good. You can feed it a little bit more close.
Get soft. Don't get soft from the side yet.
Hold it. Hold it. Exhale. There you go.
Perfect.
Oh shit. How do you make the squirty emoji?
Juicy boys. Cool. All right. I'm here with J.Velt, as you can obviously see. He's very famous, so it was very hard to get him on camera. He resisted a lot.
Paparazzi caught me finally, dude.
But I wanted to ask a few questions today, or just a couple that I see pop up that I'm not seeing people get through their heads as much, and that's sort of the younger guys that are in the camp of things having to be low volume during training, and thinking that any type of escalation of volume is just going to create too much fatigue, and they're essentially scared to do that, or they think it's wrong and that we shouldn't be escalating volume at all, other than 5 to 6 sets per session max, which I'm sure you've heard lots of this before and answered a lot of it before.
Yeah.
But I want to put some information out there as well, because obviously, as you know, I follow sort of the RP method as well, which I'm obviously sure you do. And that's the sort of stuff I like to put out too. So what's your take on all that?
First and foremost, we don't have a fucking method.
That's right. Yeah, it's the way to.
It's just presenting biofeedback for yourself and creating appropriate volume jumps. And in this instance, what you're discussing, I just actually had this conversation. There's a colloquial terminology for us. We're using volume jumps as sets, right? That's what I assume you mean by that.
Yes, working sets. Yeah.
So, because volume, obviously, there's a few working definitions.
Yeah.
Sets times reps times load plus force times distance.
Yes.
Sets. But usually, whenever we're talking about volume jumps, most people now are talking about sets.
Working
which
sets.
We'll use volume in this context is going to be about sets. The appropriate amount of volume in any given session is the amount of volume that will likely give you the best pump, a pretty decent amount of soreness, and a really robust stimulus just overall for hypertrophy. And sometimes that can be 5 to 6 sets per session. But over the course of a week, that's probably not enough volume for most people to grow. If you're doing 5, 6 sets per session for every muscle group, you're likely not doing as much as you should be to grow that muscle tissue. We actually have, based on the data, broken down each muscle group and approximately how many sets you should likely be doing for them to grow. And that really just starts with, what is the minimum effective amount of volume that you can do and still grow muscle tissue? That's where most people want to start. The unfortunate thing is that most people stay there. And they think that you should take every single one of those sets to failure. You shouldn't ever leave reps in the tank. You should always be training that amount of sets per session, and that's it. Maybe beating the logbook by 1 rep here and there. Unfortunately, the reason people do that is because they had stuck in that hardcore, we have to fail every set mentality. But if you could just take that split the muscle groups up into a little bit more frequency, leave a couple reps in the tank here and there on a lot of your sets, you're probably going to grow a lot better, and the data definitely points to that. The literature absolutely supports it. If you're an ultra super duper advanced person, your MEV, the minimum effective amount, and your MRV, so the maximum amount of volume you can do and still recover, is probably like this now instead of like this.
Yes.
Whenever you're an amateur.
Yes.
So you really, the only instance I could see somebody's volume going down through their career is a couple of things. If somebody's doing so many working sets, so many sets, reps with a shortened range of motion, just kind of like swinging shit around, and they move more toward like, oh, I should control my shit more. I should go through full range of motion more. And then on paper, it looks like their volume decreases, but in actuality, their force time distance increases, so it's probably similar anyway. And they get a better connection with their tissue. That, and then also when somebody is already really good at that, and they get into that last bit of their career where they're super duper advanced, super jacked, people like Aaron, people like Nick Walker who I've trained, they might actually have to reduce their volume a tad because they're creating so much disruption from the loads they have to use now.
Yes.
And from the way they're able to connect with their tissue, it does actually decrease the amount of sets per week that they can do. But it doesn't decrease it to 5 working sets per muscle, especially those smaller muscles like biceps or lateral delts. I'm going to do 5 sets of lateral delts in a week, 5 sets of calves, and we're like, well, they're not going to grow.
Yeah.
You know, you go from doing like 14, 15, 16 earlier in your career to 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's such a thing that I think people are maybe delusional to understand at what level they're at, where you have those guys like Nick Walker and stuff who, like, he's stated how recently he has moved back to 4 days a week and he's growing better because he's recovering better. And it's like, yeah, when you are that big, you are so much better at having that mind-muscle connection, that you've developed those neurological pathways a lot more than a fucking beginner, and you're actually able to get more stimulus out of the same amount just by how good, like I said, you are at actually connecting with your muscle. But we have volume. It's one of the factors that we have that, you know, we're looking at to create the best anabolic environment, right? Like we have our volume, we have our proximity to failure, which, like you were saying, is ideally we're leaving a couple in the tank, but most people are going very, very close to or at failure.
Yeah, at least I think they are.
Yeah. And then we have our execution, which should pretty much be stock standard perfect all the time.
Yes.
And then our load, which is still pretty respectively similar week to week and through our mesos. Like, yes, we're aiming for micro progressions, but we're not having massive jumps high or low in our total load. So that leaves volume as the only fucking thing we have to actually move around in our training, right? Because otherwise, what are you altering? Like, volume's the only other thing. So that's the only thing we can actually move in phase dependency. With the back end of a prep, we'll pull volume down a little bit, or in a growth phase. And obviously, if you're training like we do, we're escalating it over the mesocycles, or in our growth phase, we're escalating it in general. That's the only thing we have to change. So that's staying the fucking same. How are we improving?
That you can alter that. You can alter the proximity to failure.
Yeah.
So if you want a dual progression model, you could decrease the relative efforts, relative intensity, which is proximity to failure. You could increase reps per set. You could increase the sets, and that's 3 progressions.
Yeah.
So it's all about finding out what's giving you a really good pump, the sort of things I talked about in the beginning, and modifying sets based on those things. I did 2 sets of bicep curls at the end of my back workout this week. Pump was I increased it to 3. I had a really good fucking pump. I got a little bit of soreness. I recovered way ahead of time though. So then maybe you increase it to 4. You get an amazing pump again, you get more soreness, and then you recover right when you're hitting that next session. Oh, fuck money.
Yes.
And you hit it again. And generally, that leads bicep MEV to MRV looking something like 10 sets per week to like 18 sets per week for most people.
Yeah.
And we have that for each muscle group. We kind of know. The hamstrings take on a shitload of eccentric damage, so that's actually a little bit smaller. It might be something like 6 sets to like 15 sets or whatever it is, but it's all individual and you have to find all this shit out by yourself.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously, this is very hard to argue because the truth is just there and we know what it is and you guys have clearly stated it as well. But what about the people that come back and say, soreness isn't a good biofeedback tool to use.
I would love for them to just tell me why.
The argument goes is that you can do 100 fucking reps or something. You could run a marathon. You could ride a bike for fucking 8 hours straight. Right. And you're going to be very sore the next day.
Novel stimulus is a bitch.
Yeah, and you're going to be very sore the next day. But to a trained athlete like maybe you or me, we could go and fucking ride a bike for 8 hours straight and we'd be sore the next day. But to a trained athlete, we probably haven't grown any muscle because of that, even though we'd be very sore.
Right. Yeah. So it's novel stimulus will absolutely cause soreness. When you are a trained athlete in your specific sport, when you do more of the thing you're doing and it gets you slightly sore, it's a pretty damn good measure for if you're going to grow or not. So if I'm doing a shitload of bench and at some point I'm like 8 weeks into a massing phase and 8 sets isn't cutting it anymore, or I said chest, I said bench, but chest, and I bump it up to 10 sets and then I get sore, it's probably a pretty good sign that you've done more work in context. Because I could go do 1,000 push-ups and I'd be like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
Ugh. But it's not a robust stimulus for growth. It's not in that percentage that we need for growth. It's not in the rep ranges that we kind of need. It's a lot of time and attention, I guess, but likely not going to get a lot out of that.
Yes, that's right. And I think context is the most relevant thing here because, like, yeah, you can do anything and you're saying and get fucking sore if it's something you've never done before, but like, who the fuck's going and doing that anyway? We're not going and running marathons or riding bikes. Like, we care about bodybuilding, right? So in the context of, I had fucking perfect execution. I escalated some volume because I thought I could. I had relative load to fail within that bodybuilding rep range that we aim for between 5 and 30. And my proximity to failure is where it needed to be. And I got sore. Like you were saying, it's a pretty fucking good biofeedback to you. No other reason it shouldn't be.
And if it ever comes to the point where the literature shows that soreness, because it's hard to not get sore with all the other kind of outlets of hypertrophy, like the metabolic damage and the tension on the tissue, you're going to get sore. If it ever shows that you don't need to be sore at all, like, all right, cool, I'm wrong, whatever. But right now, there's not enough to say that. And I think there's more pointing toward it's probably a pretty good biofeedback marker.
Yeah.
And with that, I think a lot of people will stop getting sore because they train with high volumes for too long. And they never take points in time when they're trying to periodize their training. So it's coming back down in volume, taking a maintenance period, and then going back. A lot of the bodybuilders back in the day did this unintentionally. They would compete in the Olympia. They would take 2 to 3 months completely off, not even low volume. Low volume is probably a little better so you can actually maintain your tissue. Then they would come back improved the next year. That's how they do that. And then they could come back into training, they're getting sore again, they're building a lot of muscle right off the bat. You see them 2 months after the Olympia, they're nothing. You see them 4 months after the Olympia, you're like, holy fuck, you're the biggest you've ever been in your life. How'd that happen? Well, you got to periodize your training a little bit because you have to resensitize the tissue to the stimulus that you're trying to provide to it.
Yes.
So if you can do that.
Which is why we have the regular deloads as well.
Absolutely, 100%. And then, lastly, just don't trick yourself into thinking that you have to push shit really close to failure, decrease the days per week that you're training, when in all actuality, it might be a better idea to just keep some reps in the tank and have more training days. Because even people like Nick says that, but when me and Nick were training together, he was growing better. And he was doing 5 or 6 days a week. And it was like, perfect, here's the RIR, here's how many days a week you're going to be hitting your muscles. And the frequency was such that maybe 4 days a week, he's pushing all of his biceps into 2 sessions, whereas 5 days or 6 days, you can split it up into 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And instead of pushing every set to failure, you're backing off a little bit to one in the tank, and you're doing more volume that way. You're recovering right on time, you're getting the right amount of volume in, and the rest of the time is focused on recovery. But that's also a way to do fatigue management. It's not just taking off days. It's not just going home, kicking your feet up. It's making sure your frequency is proper and you're not just going and obliterating your fucking muscles. Because that's what people try to do all the time.
Yes.
1 leg day a week, hamstrings, quads, 10 working sets. And by the end of that, you're just junk volume. You're cooked, you're fried. You actually dip below the FSR curve and you don't actually come back up to baseline for a long time. And if you're in prep, that's a real bad idea because that's how you lose muscle.
Yes.
So especially in prep, modulating that frequency is a way fucking better idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, man. That's all I wanted to
of course.
fucking get across. But I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
And that wraps it up.